Welcome to this week's version of Nickels and Dimes, our weekly video series. The quote of the week this week comes from a guy by the name of Casey Stengel. And if you've been watching these videos for a while, I've actually referenced him before, and he talks about predictions. We're at the beginning of 2021, and at the end of every year, the year before, there's a lot of Wall Street gurus who talk about predictions. So Casey says, never make predictions, especially about the future. Never make predictions, especially about the future. Obviously, it's very difficult to make an accurate prediction. Heck, sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to eat tonight, for example, for dinner. So how can I pick or predict really past next week, or even 12 months from now? It's very difficult to do that, at least accurately and consistently. For example, so I was reading CNBC at the end of last year, and we all know, again, there's stock market gurus who always like to predict what the S&P and what certain asset classes are going to do in terms of their performance the following year. So of course we have the Wall Street gurus coming out and declaring their predictions for 2021. So here's the headline. Again, this is from CNBC. This is quite interesting. And the headline says simply, Wall Street analysts make a bid on the S&P 500 for 2021, and the market history says to ignore them. Well, isn't that interesting? So has anyone ever looked at how accurate many of these analysts' predictions are? My experience is that doesn't happen. But the gentleman who wrote this report on CNBC, Eric Rosenbaum, did, and he noted that in 80% of the time, over the last 15 years, analysts have been inaccurate in their predictions. In particular, they've almost always predicted, again, 80% of the time, they've actually predicted the S&P is higher than it actually is. So again, in 80% of the time, the analysts have predicted the S&P 500 is higher than it actually ended up being. So the data says ignore the predictors, because as you know, no one knows what's going to happen. Of course, 2020 brought on a lot of economic problems, of course, motivated or, the catalyst, of course, was the virus. We saw the market collapse from mid-February to mid-March, and of course shot back up, primarily driven by Fed stimulus. So my message to you today is ignore the predictions. No one knows what the future holds. Come up with an asset allocation plan, a risk management plan, a proactive investment discipline. Follow that discipline. Stay consistent, and don't read the headlines. Just follow your plan. To that end, if you would like a plan, if you don't have one, we're happy to help you develop one. You could send me an email at cnichols@nicholswealth.com or go on our website at nicholswealth.com. In the meantime, thanks again for watching, and I wish you and your family all the best for 2021. Thanks. Bye-bye.